Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like there's more to you than meets the eye? Like you've been born with an innate ability to navigate life differently, to take the chaos, pain, and confusion of the world and somehow turn it into wisdom, growth, and meaning? If you've ever felt this way, it's no coincidence. You might just be a natural spiritual alchemist. And what does that even mean? Well, alchemy is the ancient art of transformation, turning something ordinary into gold, turning lead into light. But spiritual alchemy takes this concept beyond the physical. It's about transforming your inner world, your energy, your experiences, and ultimately, your reality. It's about becoming the master of your own life, a creator of meaning, and a force of light in a world that can sometimes feel dark. The truth is, not everyone is a spiritual alchemist. This path isn't for the faint of heart. It calls to those who are ready to dive deep into themselves, to face their shadows and to emerge stronger, brighter, and more whole. And here's the thing. If you're watching this right now, something inside you already knows you're different. Something inside you is drawn to the idea that you are capable of more, not just for yourself, but for the world around you. You didn't stumble across this by accident. This is your call to remember who you truly are.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons.
But how do you know if you're a natural spiritual alchemist? How can you recognize the signs? That's what we're diving into today. By the end of this, you'll not only understand the signs, but you'll also start to see why this path is yours to walk, why it's been waiting for you all along, and more importantly, you'll discover how to lean into this gift, to amplify it, and to use it to create profound transformation in your life and the lives of those around you. The first sign of a natural spiritual alchemist is this: you have an extraordinary ability to find meaning in pain. Think about it. Have you ever gone through something so difficult, so heavy, that it felt like it might break you, and yet, somehow, on the other side of it, there was a piece of wisdom or strength that you gained? Maybe you didn't find it right away. Maybe it took time. But eventually, you realized that the pain wasn't pointless. It was a portal. It was a doorway to a deeper part of yourself, to a lesson that you couldn't have learnt any other way. Most people run from pain. They numb it, avoid it, or let it consume them. But you face it, you sit with it, you let it teach you, and that's what makes you different. You understand, at a deep level, that pain isn't here to punish you, it's here to wake you up. It's here to burn away what no longer serves you, to clear the path for something new. This is the essence of spiritual alchemy, turning them into gold. So let me ask you something. What is the greatest pain you've ever experienced, and what did it teach you? Because if you can answer that question, you're already practicing alchemy, whether you realize it or not. The second sign is something even more subtle, but just as powerful. You have a natural connection to energy. You may not call it that. Maybe you just call it intuition, or vibes, or that gut feeling you can't explain but know you can trust. But the truth is, you're deeply attuned to the energetic currents around you. You can sense when something is off. Even when there's no logical explanation for it, you can feel the emotions of others, like an undercurrent beneath their words. And sometimes this can feel overwhelming, like you're carrying more than just your own energy. But here's the thing, this sensitivity isn't a weakness. It's your superpower. Being able to feel energy means you can also shift it. You can walk into a room and instantly sense the mood. But more importantly, you have the ability to influence it. Maybe it's through your presence, your words, or just your energy alone. People feel better around you, even if they don't know why. You're like a tuning fork, naturally bringing others into harmony. But the key here is to learn how to protect your energy, because as an alchemist, you're not meant to carry everyone else's weight. You're meant to transmute it, not by absorbing it, but by holding your own frequency so strongly that it creates a ripple effect. So, here's a question for you. When was the last time you trusted your intuition? And how did it guide you? The more you trust it, the stronger it becomes. The third sign is this. You're deeply drawn to transformation. You can't stand stagnation, whether it's in yourself or others. You're constantly evolving, constantly growing, and you're not afraid to shed old identities, beliefs, or patterns when they no longer serve you. For you, life isn't about staying comfortable, it's about becoming. It's about peeling back the layers of who you thought you were to uncover the truth of who you really are. And this can sometimes make you feel like you're always in a state of change, like you're never fully finished. But here's the secret. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. As an alchemist, you understand that transformation is the only constant. You're not here to stay the same, you're here to evolve over and over again. And this isn't just about personal growth, it's about helping others transform too. Whether you realize it or not, your energy inspires change in the people around you. You don't even have to say anything. Your presence alone is enough to spark something in others, to make them see possibilities they haven't seen before. So let me ask you, what's one part of your life that you've transformed completely, and how did it change you? Reflecting on this will show you just how powerful your gift of transformation really is. The path of the alchemist isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. And the more you lean into these signs, the more you'll see that this isn't just a skill, it's your nature. It's who you are. You were born for this. You were born to take the raw material of life, the pain, the energy, the challenges, and turn it into something extraordinary. Too many people deliberately defy extraordinary. Let me ask you something. What part of yourself are you most afraid to look at? What is that secret fear, pain, or flaw that you hide even from yourself? Most people spend their lives running from their shadows, the parts of themselves they consider dark, broken, or unworthy. But as a spiritual alchemist, you already sense that the key to your transformation isn't found in denying these shadows, it's found in embracing them. Because here's the truth, your shadows aren't here to destroy you, they're here to teach you. And the moment you stop running from them, they stop chasing you. Instead, they become your greatest allies in the process of alchemy. This is one of the most powerful signs of a natural spiritual alchemist. You have a willingness to face your darkness even when it's uncomfortable. You understand on some level that your shadows hold the keys to your growth. They're like locked doors within you, and the only way to access the treasure behind them is to step through. But let's be honest, it's not easy. It takes courage to look at the parts of yourself you've buried, to admit that there are wounds you haven't healed, fears you haven't conquered, or mistakes you haven't forgiven. Yet, this is the work of the alchemist, to turn lead into gold, not by rejecting the lead, but by transforming it. So, what does this look like in practice? It starts with self-awareness. Take a moment to ask yourself, what triggers me the most in life? What situations, people, or experiences bring out the parts of me I'd rather not see? Maybe it's anger, jealousy, insecurity, or fear. Whatever it is, that's your shadow speaking. And here's what most people don't realize. Your triggers are a map. They point directly to the parts of yourself that are asking for healing. If you're triggered by someone's success, it might be because you're not fully owning your own potential. If you're triggered by rejection, it might be because there's a part of you that still doubts your worth. Every shadow has a story. And as an alchemist, your job is to listen to it, not silence it. But this goes deeper than just identifying your shadows. True alchemy happens when you integrate them. And what does that mean? It means taking the parts of yourself you've rejected and making peace with them. It doesn't mean you have to love your anger or celebrate your fear, but it does mean you stop fighting them. You start seeing them for what they really are, messengers. Think of your shadows as lost, wounded parts of yourself that are crying out for attention. When you embrace them, you're not giving them power, you're reclaiming your own. Let me give you an example. Imagine you've always felt insecure about being seen or heard. Maybe as a child you were told to stay quiet, to not take up too much space. That insecurity might have grown into a shadow that now shows up as fear whenever you're in the spotlight. Most people would try to push that fear down, to ignore it or pretend it's not there. But as an alchemist, you would do something different. You would turn toward that fear and say, I see you. I understand why you're here, and I'm ready to work with you. You might ask yourself, what does this fear need from me? Maybe it needs reassurance, compassion, or validation. By giving it what it needs, you're not just healing that shadow, you're transforming it into strength. This process is what makes alchemy so profound. It's not about erasing your darkness, it's about transmuting it into light. Think about it. The most powerful people you've ever met, the ones who radiate wisdom and depth, aren't the ones who have never faced adversity. They're the ones who have faced their shadows, learned from them, and emerged stronger. They've taken their pain and turned it into purpose, their fear and turned it into courage, and you can do the same. But here's the deeper truth. Your shadows don't just hold the keys to your personal transformation. They also hold the keys to your purpose. The parts of you that you've struggled with the most are often the very parts that equip you to help others. If you've struggled with self-worth, you're uniquely equipped to help others through their own. If you've battled fear, you have the wisdom to guide others through their own. Your shadows are the raw material of your alchemy, and when you transform them, you're not just transforming yourself, you're creating a ripple effect that impacts everyone around you. Let me ask you, what if the parts of yourself you've been running from are the very parts that hold your greatest gifts? What if your wounds aren't weaknesses, but doorways to your power? This is the mindset of the alchemist. When you stop judging your shadows and start working with them, you unlock a level of transformation that most people never reach. And this isn't just about healing, it's about integration. About becoming whole. One of the most practical ways to work with your shadows is through journaling. When you feel triggered or notice a shadow coming up, write about it. Ask yourself, what am I feeling and why? What story am I telling myself about this? What does this part of me need right now? The act of writing creates space for self-reflection and helps you see your shadows more clearly. And the more you do this, the more you'll notice something incredible. Your shadows lose their power over you. They stop controlling you from the subconscious and start becoming allies in your growth. Another way to work with your shadows is through meditation. The next time you feel a shadow rising, whether it's fear, anger, or sadness, don't push it away. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and allow yourself to feel it fully. Imagine that shadow as a part of you that's been locked in a room for years, waiting for you to open the door. Sit with it, listen to it, and as you do, you'll start to notice that it's not as scary as you thought. In fact, it might even have wisdom to share. The path of the spiritual alchemist is one of courage. It's not about avoiding your darkness, it's about walking straight into it and emerging with the light. This is what sets you apart. This is what makes you a natural alchemist. You have the ability to take the parts of yourself that others would reject and turn them into something extraordinary. And when you do this, not just once, but over and over, you become unstoppable. What if I told you that your inner transformation doesn't stop with you? That the work you've done, the pain you've transmuted, the shadows you've embraced, the light you've uncovered, has a ripple effect far beyond your own life. This is the hidden truth of spiritual alchemy. When you transform yourself, you change the world. Your energy, your presence, your very existence becomes a catalyst for transformation in others. This is the alchemist's gift, and whether you realize it or not, you've already been giving it. Think about the people in your life. How many times have you inspired someone without even trying? Maybe it was through your courage to face a difficult situation, your ability to see beauty in the mundane, or the wisdom you shared after a challenging experience. People notice these things. They may not say it outright, but they feel it. Your growth gives them permission to grow. Your light reminds them of their own. This is the essence of spiritual alchemy. Not only do you transform yourself, but you also create a space where others can transform too. And the best part? You don't have to force it. It happens naturally, simply by being who you are. But here's the thing. To fully embrace this gift, you have to understand the power of energy. Everything in the universe is energy. including you. And your energy speaks louder than your words ever could. You've probably experienced this before, walking into a room and instantly feeling the mood, whether it's tense, joyful, or neutral. That's the energy of the space, shaped by the people in it. And just as you can sense energy, you also project it. Your thoughts, emotions, and intentions create a vibrational field that others can feel, even if they're not consciously aware of it. This means that the more aligned you are with your true self, the more powerful your energy becomes. When you're living in alignment, when you're authentic, grounded, and connected to your inner light, you naturally raise the vibration of everyone around you. It's like being a tuning fork. Your frequency helps others tune into their own higher vibration. It's not about trying to fix anyone or convince them to change. It's about embodying your truth so fully that it creates a ripple effect. But how do you intentionally use this gift? It starts with presence. One of the greatest powers you have as a spiritual alchemist is the ability to hold space for others. This doesn't mean giving advice or solving their problems. It means being fully present with them without judgment or agenda. When someone is going through something difficult, your presence alone can be incredibly healing. You don't have to say the perfect words or offer a solution. Simply by being there, by holding a space of love, compassion, and acceptance, you allow them to feel seen, heard, and safe. And in that space, transformation begins. Ask yourself, when was the last time I truly listened to someone without trying to fix them? In a world where so many people feel unseen, your ability to hold space is a gift beyond measure. And the more you practice this, the more you'll notice something incredible. People start to change, not because you told them to, but because you created an environment where they felt safe enough to do so on their own. This is alchemy in action. Another way to amplify your impact is through intention. Remember, your energy is powerful, and when directed with intention, it can create profound shifts. Before entering a space, ask yourself, what energy do I want to bring? Whether it's peace, joy, or clarity, set the intention to embody that energy. Visualize it radiating from you like a light, filling the room and touching everyone in it. You don't have to say a word. Your energy will do the work. And over time, you'll notice that people are drawn to you, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. But this gift isn't just about uplifting others. It's also about transforming the physical world around you. As a spiritual alchemist, you have the ability to create beauty, harmony, and abundance in your environment. This might look like designing a space that feels peaceful and inspiring, infusing your work with passion and creativity, or even simply bringing kindness and gratitude into your daily interactions. These small acts of creation and intention ripple outward, creating a world that feels more aligned with your inner truth. Let me ask you, what kind of world do you want to live in? Because the truth is, you're already shaping it. Every thought you think, every choice you make, every action you take contributes to the collective energy of the planet. And while that might sound overwhelming, it's actually incredibly empowering. You don't have to change the whole world overnight. You just have to start with your corner of it. exercising control. The more you live in alignment with your higher self, the more you inspire others to do the same, and together, those ripples create waves. But here's the most important part. Don't underestimate the power of your own transformation. Sometimes we feel like we're not doing enough, like our impact isn't big enough to matter. But the truth is, every step you take toward becoming your true self sends a ripple through the universe. You might never know how many lives you've touched, how many hearts you've inspired, or how many people have found their own light because of you. And that's okay. The alchemist doesn't work for recognition. They work because they know that transformation, both inner and outer, is their purpose. So let me leave you with this question. What would happen if you fully embraced your gift as a spiritual alchemist? If you stopped hiding your light, stopped doubting your power, and started showing up as the truest, most authentic version of yourself, how would your life change? How would the world around you change? The answer to these questions isn't something I can give you. It's something you must discover for yourself. But I can tell you this, the moment you say yes to your path, the universe will say yes to you. Now that you've begun to understand the depth of your gifts as a spiritual alchemist, let's take it further. Let's explore how you can expand this power beyond what you've ever imagined. Because here's the truth. There are no limits to what you can create, transform, and manifest when you fully realize the infinite potential within you. The only boundaries are the ones you place on yourself, and the moment you decide to let those boundaries go, you step into a reality where anything is possible. At the core of this limitless potential is one simple but profound principle. You are already connected to everything. The energy that flows through the universe flows through you. The same creative force that moves the stars, builds mountains, and breathes life into everything is the same force that resides within you. This means that your capacity to create and transform is not separate from the universe. It is the universe. The more you align with this truth, the more you'll see that you're not just an observer of life or a participant in it, you're a co-creator. But how do you expand your alchemical power? How do you step into this infinite potential? It starts with your mind. Your thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions shape your reality. If you believe that transformation is hard, it will be. If you believe that the universe is limited, it will seem that way. But if you believe that you are infinite, that you are capable of miracles, that life is working in your favor, then that becomes your reality. So, let me ask you, what beliefs are you holding on to that are keeping you small? Are you willing to release them? Are you willing to replace them with beliefs that empower you?
I basically do everything to as little as I can do to not go crazy.
One of the most powerful tools for expanding your alchemical potential is visualization. This isn't just about imagining what you want, it's about feeling it, embodying it, and stepping into its energy as if it's already yours. When you visualize, you're not just daydreaming, you're aligning your energy with the reality you want to create. You're sending a clear signal to the universe. This is who I am. This is what I'm ready for. And the universe responds. Try this. Close your eyes and imagine yourself as the highest, most powerful version of you. See yourself living a life of abundance, joy, and purpose. Feel it in your body. Let that vision expand until it feels real. Because in a sense, it already is. But visualization alone isn't enough. You have to take action. Not just any action, aligned action. This means listening to your intuition, following the nudges, and acting from a place of trust. When you align your actions with your energy and intentions, you create a powerful resonance that accelerates your transformation. The universe moves with you, opening doors, guiding you to the right people, and clearing the path ahead. Aligned action is the bridge between the inner work of alchemy and the outer reality you're creating. And here's the final secret. Your alchemical power grows the more you share it. Transformation isn't just about you, it's about the collective. Every time you inspire someone, uplift someone, or help someone see their own light, you expand your own power. Because energy isn't lost when you give it, it multiplies. The more you give, the more you receive. This is the infinite cycle of creation. So let me ask you, how can you use your gifts to serve others? How can you take the gold you've created within yourself and share it with the world? The key to unlocking your infinite potential is this. Stop playing small. Stop doubting your power. Stop waiting for permission. You are a spiritual alchemist. You were born to transform, to create, to lead. The universe is waiting for you to step fully into that truth. And when you do, you won't just change your life, you'll change the world.